Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, said the highest virtue is not virtue. Therefore, really is virtue. But in theory of virtue, you cannot let go of being virtuous, and therefore is not virtue. Translated in more of a periphrastic way, the highest virtue is not conscious of itself as virtue, and therefore really is virtue. Lower virtue is so self-conscious that it's not even virtue. In other words, when you breathe, you don't congratulate yourself on being virtuous. But breathing is a great virtue. It's living. When you come out with beautiful eyes, blue or brown or green as the case may be, you don't congratulate yourself for having grown one of the most fabulous jewels on the earth. It's just eyes. And you don't account it a virtue. To see, to entertain the miracles of color and form. You say, but that's real virtue. Virtue in the sense, the old sense of the word, the strength. As when we talk about the healing properties of a plant. That's real virtue. But the other virtues are stuck on. They're ersatz. They're imitation virtues. And they usually create trouble. Because more diabolical things are done in the name of righteousness. And be assured that everybody, whatever nationality or political frame of mind or religion, always goes to war with the sense of complete rightness. The other side is the devil. Our opponents, whether in China or Russia or Vietnam, have the same feeling of righteousness about what they're doing as about what we have on our side. And a plague on both houses. Because, as Confucius said, the goody-goodies are the thieves of virtue. Which is a form of our own proverb. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, in a way, the moral, or the immoral, of these considerations is that if you are really aware of your own inner workings, you will realize there's nothing you can do to improve yourself. Because you don't know what better is, in any case. And you, who will do the improving, are the one who needs to be improved. And this also goes for society. We can change society. We can get enormous enthusiasm going out of the idea that there is a revolution afoot and that this revolution is going to set everything to right. Do you know of a revolution that ever set anything to right? Whether the revolution came from the left wing or from the right wing. The best forms of government that have ever existed are the ones which muddled through, where they didn't have any very clear setup of control, but they muddle along. Kind of what I'll call controlled anarchy. Seems to work out better than anything else. When we have a great system, a great power to put it into effect, there's always more violence, more bloodshed, more trouble. What instead, therefore, if we see that you can't outwit yourself, you can't be, shall I say, unself-conscious on purpose. You can't be designedly spontaneous. And you cannot be genuinely loving by intending to love. Either you love someone or you don't. If you pretend to love a person, you've deceived them and build up reasons for resentment. You say, well, I ought to be honest. That's the beginning of, so many lies you can't imagine. It's like when I hear a lot said about love. There's a big love thing on the way. Everybody's got to love everybody. Everybody sings songs about love. Do you know what I do? I buy a gun and bar my door. Because I know there's a storm of hypocrisy brewing. So, let's look at this thing from another point of view, which you will at first think is highly depressing. Suppose we're stuck with it. Now, that is the worst thing an American audience can ever hear. There's no way of improving yourself, because every kind of culture in this country is dedicated to self-improvement. Just take jogging, that deplorable practice. It's a very nice thing to run, and to go dancing across the hills at a fast speed. But these joggers are chunk, 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 shaking their bones and rattling their brains, running on their heels. And because there's a grimness about it. It's determinedly good for you. You see? Why do you go to school?